Section 9 of Captain Billy's Whiz Bang, Volume 2, Number 18, March 1921. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Captain Billy's Whiz Bang, Volume 2, Number 18, March 1921, by W. H. Fawcett. Short Quips. The Deadly Mouse. "What a brave, brave girl Mary is," said a young man in enthusiastic tones. "Mary? Brave? How so?" inquired the young man's sister. "Why, at the dance last night," said the young man, "she was the only girl who kept her seat and remained perfectly cool when the mouse appeared." "Pshaw!" said his sister. "That wasn't bravery. Mary told me afterwards that she had her old garters on." For private circulation. "May I print a kiss upon your lips?" "Yes, provided you promise not to publish it." Bald-headed bad luck. The transport had just been torpedoed. After a little struggle in the moisture, Bill found himself safely within the confines of an empty lifeboat. Realizing he was safe himself, he began to look around to see who needed assistance. Observing several men endeavoring to keep afloat nearby, he reached over the side and grabbed two of them by the hair and dragged them into the boat. Suddenly, a bald-headed man appeared alongside the boat. Peering over the side, Bill slapped him on the head and cried angrily, "Go on down and come up right." Women, by Jack Andrews. The ever-perplexing, never-understanding, and most ancient of mysteries, woman, is still with us. With but slight variations, she is today the same enigma as were her predecessors running back to the beginning of time. The modern man starts out just about as the caveman did, only he believes he is more accomplished and capable of penetrating the veil that men of vast experience in dealing with the deadlier sex associate with the unknown origin. It is the incertitude of what woman will do that brings out the gambling spirit in all of us, makes wise men of some of us, and pessimists of the rest of us. When you find this type of pessimist, a man who breaks out the hammer as the talk tends toward women, wild and otherwise, just jot it down in your little notebook that at some time in his life a little bubble of conceit was pierced by a woman, and a man failed to measure up to the requirements. There is another class of supposedly male beings who continually rant about the women. They usually exhibit a holier-than-thou attitude when the pleasures of a woman's society are mentioned, and denounce them as contributors to the undoing of man. They boast of a virtue that stamps them as impotence, superinduced by their own follies, and makes of them living hypocrites ashamed to acknowledge the truth. A man who boasts of "never a thought of women" will certainly not be molested by real women. Remember this, my friends, that in the conquest for a woman's love, it is far better to be audacious, for to profess too great a virtue may cause them to doubt your virility. Embarrassing moments. A Robbinsdale schoolteacher had a class up to spell. They were very young. She pronounced the word leg. The young miss who was to spell it was very modest and couldn't spell it. A big awkward boy blushed furiously when it was passed down to him, and the next one spelled it. "And what is the definition?" she asked, elevating her eyebrows encouragingly. Nobody knew. "Why, children," she insisted, "surely you know that. What is it of which I have 2 and a cow has 4? There was an awkward pause for just a moment, and then a diminutive urchin at the front of the class yelled out an answer. The answer has not yet appeared in print, but they do say that there was a vacation for the rest of that day, while the teacher recovered consciousness. End of Section 9.